Hello, inner shifters. How you doing? Your host, Sophia here. Okay, let's start rough. How about setting a routine? But let's not make it feel like another obligation on a long to-do list. Because when it comes to fitness at home, routine isn't about strict rules or waking up at 5. Them. To do burpees, it's about building momentum. It's about creating a rhythm that feels good, one that actually fits into your life and makes movement something you want to do, not something you force. I had a friend, Lucas, who kept trying to get into a workout routine, but he'd do it in fits and bursts. One week he'd go all in, hour-long workouts, meal prepping, tracking every detail, then the next he'd crash. He'd feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated that he couldn't stick with it. One day he told me, I wish I could just make this feel natural instead of forcing it. And that's when everything shifted for him. Instead of aiming for perfection, he started aiming for consistency. Shorter workouts, realistic goals, and a mindset that allowed him to show up even on the days he didn't feel his best. And after a few weeks, fitness became part of his routine, not a fight, not a struggle, just normal. There's real science behind this. Studies from Stanford University show that consistency in small habits leads to long-term success. Not extreme effort, but repeatable, manageable actions. The human brain thrives on routine. When something becomes part of your daily rhythm, it stops feeling like a choice you have to battle yourself over and starts feeling automatic. That's why brushing your teeth doesn't require motivation, it's just part of your day. And fitness, it can be that way too. The secret to a good routine is making it realistic. If you set yourself up for something intense right away, daily hour-long workouts, complex programs, you might find yourself avoiding it rather than sticking to it. But if you start small, if you make it fit your lifestyle, that's when it sticks. It's the difference between saying, I need to work out for an hour versus, I'll move for 10 minutes today. One feels like pressure, the other feels doable. And when something feels doable, you repeat it, which builds momentum. I knew a woman named Sophie who wanted to exercise but felt like she never had enough time. She told me if I can't do a full workout, I feel like it's not worth it. But when she changed that mindset, when she started doing short workouts, even 15 minutes, she realized something incredible. It wasn't about the length. It was about showing up regularly. Studies from the Journal of Applied Physiology confirm this. Short but frequent movement improves overall health and energy levels more than occasional long workouts. It's the habit that matters most. And can we talk about how routine helps with motivation? The hardest part of any workout isn't the workout itself, it's getting started. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll have days where you talk yourself out of it. But if movement becomes part of your routine, like morning stretching or a lunch break walk, you don't need motivation. You just do it. Research from the University of Southern California backs this up. People who build automatic fitness habits stick with exercise far longer than those who rely solely on motivation. The best way to set a routine, make it enjoyable. If you hate running, don't run. If you love dancing, make dance workouts your thing. If you prefer structure, follow a home program. If you like flexibility, aim for daily movement without strict rules. The key is choosing movement that feels good, because when something feels good, you come back to it. I had a friend, Aiden, who struggled with workouts until he started boxing at home. He told me I stopped thinking about it as exercise, I started thinking about it as something fun I get to do. And that shift, it kept him consistent. And listen, routine doesn't mean every day is perfect. Some days you'll feel strong, some days you'll feel sluggish. Some days you'll do a full workout, some days it'll just be a stretch session. But every time you show up, even in the smallest way, you're reinforcing the habit. You're keeping the rhythm. And long term, that's what matters most. So set a routine, not a rigid plan, but a rhythm that supports you. Start small, make it work for you, and trust that each time you move, you're building something stronger than just muscle, you're building momentum. And that momentum, that's what changes everything. Now about bodyweight exercises, but not like some boring fitness manual. More like a secret weapon that makes working out at home way more effective than most people realize. Because bodyweight training, it's not a backup plan for when you don't have equipment. It's one of the most powerful, efficient ways to build strength, mobility, and endurance anywhere. I had a friend named Jordan who used to think that if he wasn't lifting weights, he wasn't getting a real workout. He avoided bodyweight training, thinking it was too basic. But when he finally started adding push-ups, squats, lunges, and core work into his routine, something crazy happened. He got stronger, faster, more agile. His joints felt better, his endurance increased, and he realized that his own body was the best piece of equipment he could ever use. And science backs this up. Studies from the American Council on Exercise show that bodyweight movements activate stabilizer muscles more effectively than machines, meaning they strengthen not just primary muscles, but also supporting muscles that protect your joints. That's why bodyweight workouts lead to functional strength, the kind that makes you not just look fit, but move better, feel better, and perform better in everyday life. Think about it: when you squat, you're mimicking a movement you do all day long. When you push up, you're building the strength to lift and push things in daily life. When you do planks, lunges, or jumps, you're training balance, stability, and total body control. Bodyweight exercises don't just build muscle, they build capability. I knew a woman named Emily who avoided strength training for years because gym machines intimidated her. She thought she needed fancy equipment to get fit, so she never really started. But when she finally tried bodyweight workouts, things like simple circuits of squats, push-ups, and core work, she realized she never needed a gym in the first place. She told me I didn't know my own body was enough. That mindset shift changed everything. She became more confident, more mobile, and even avoided knee pain that had been bothering her for months. And let's talk about versatility. You don't need dumbbells or resistance bands, you are the resistance. Want to make it harder? Change angles, slow down reps, hold positions longer. Bodyweight training lets you modify intensity without equipment. You can work strength, endurance, agility, all with just a few square feet of space. Even elite athletes use bodyweight exercises religiously. Gymnasts, martial artists, sprinters, they know how effective bodyweight training is for building pure strength. Studies from the National Strength and Conditioning Association confirm that calisthenics-based training improves muscle endurance and power, sometimes even better than weightlifting. So if you're at home and wondering how to stay fit, don't think of bodyweight workouts as less than, think of them as an opportunity. To move better, to build strength, to get powerful without needing anything but yourself. Start with what feels good. Add reps. Slow down. Challenge yourself in new ways. And trust that your own body is the best tool you'll ever have. Have you ever thought about your functional movement? But let's think about it as how your body actually moves in real life, not just as a workout concept. Because fitness isn't just about burning calories or building muscle. It's about making your body work better for everything you do, whether that's carrying groceries, bending down to tie your shoes, or just feeling stronger in your daily life. Have you ever done a workout, but then realized you still feel stiff when reaching for something high up? Or that your body feels strong in one way but awkward in another? That's because traditional workouts don't always train movement, they train isolated muscles. Functional movement, though, it strengthens how your body actually operates, making everyday tasks easier and your body more capable. I had a friend named Leo who lifted weights but still struggled with flexibility. He could bench press a lot, but had trouble getting up off the floor without using his hands. That's when he started adding functional exercises, things like deep squats, mobility drills, and body control movements. Within weeks, he noticed something wild. His daily movements felt smoother. No more stiffness when reaching, no more awkward transitions from sitting to standing. His workouts weren't just about strength anymore, they were about freedom of movement. And science completely supports this. Studies from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research show that functional training improves joint mobility, reduces injury risk, and enhances overall movement efficiency. That means training your body to work as a unit, not just isolating muscles, but integrating balance, coordination, and flexibility makes you feel better in your day-to-day life. Think about how kids move. They run, jump, squat, roll. Their movements are fluid because they're natural. But as adults, we lose that mobility. We sit more, we move less, and suddenly we're stiff in ways we never were before. Functional movement helps bring that back. It trains the body for real-world motions, helping you avoid stiffness and improve strength without losing flexibility. I knew a woman named Sophia who started working a desk job and noticed her posture collapsing. She tried traditional strength training but still had tension in her back. Then she switched her focus to functional movement, things like core stability, rotation exercises, and flexibility drills. And within weeks, her back pain disappeared, she could sit comfortably, and even her energy improved. Because movement isn't just about muscles, it's about quality of life. And functional training doesn't need to be complicated. Things like lunges, squats, hip mobility drills, shoulder rolls, rotational movements, these build a body that moves better, not just looks better. One of the best functional exercises, just getting up off the floor in different ways. Sounds simple, but it trains mobility in ways that keep your body working well as you age. So if you're working out at home, don't just think about reps or sets, think about how you move. How your body feels. How smoothly you transition between positions. Because functional strength isn't just fitness, it's freedom. The freedom to move without stiffness, to stay strong in daily life, and to keep your body capable no matter what stage you're in. Start small. Add some mobility exercises. A stretch in new ways. Build movements that feel natural. Your body is meant to move well, sometimes you just have to remind it how. Let's stay creative with workouts, because fitness at home doesn't have to feel repetitive or limited. When you think outside the box, you realize something incredible. You don't need fancy equipment or a huge space to get stronger, move better, and actually enjoy exercising. I once knew someone named Nana who hated working out. Not because she didn't want to be healthy, but because every workout routine she tried felt boring. Repetitive. Like a chore instead of something she could look forward to. But when she stopped following generic workout plans and started getting creative, everything changed. She used household items, chairs for dips, towels for sliding core exercises, water bottles as weights. She put on music that made her feel unstoppable and built workouts around it, moving in a way that felt energizing instead of exhausting. She told me, I stopped thinking about working out as something I had to do and started thinking about it as something I get to do. Oh, and that shift, it made all the difference. Science backs this up too. Studies from the National Institute of Health show that varied workouts improve overall fitness more than repetitive routines. When you mix things up, your body adapts better, your muscles stay engaged, and most importantly, you stay motivated. That's why dancers, athletes, even martial artists train in diverse ways. Because movement isn't just about intensity, it's about keeping the body dynamic and the mind engaged. I had a friend, Leo, who got stuck in the same workout cycle, same moves, same sets, same structure. One day he told me, I feel strong, but I don't feel excited to work out. So he switched things up, he tried new movement styles, explored different packing, even incorporated play into his workouts. He went from lifting weights mindlessly to doing bodyweight challenges, movement drills, balance exercises, even a little shadow boxing. And suddenly, he looked forward to his workouts again. And the best part, you don't need a lot of space or equipment to get creative. Ever tried using a wall for resistance exercises, sliding your feet on a towel for stability drills, turning a staircase into an impromptu step workout? There's so much you can do with everyday items. Fitness isn't confined to a gym, it's wherever you decide to move. Even kids naturally get creative with movement. They jump, roll, balance on one foot just for fun. When was the last time you let yourself play with fitness like that? Because movement doesn't have to be serious all the time, it can be freeing, experimental fun. So if you're working out at home and things feel stale, switch it up. Try a new style of training. Play with different tempos. Use household objects in new ways. Challenge yourself in a way that feels fresh and exciting. Because when fitness feels fun, when it feels curious, when it feels like something you're exploring rather than forcing, that's when it sticks. Your body loves variety. And when you lean into that, workouts stop being something you dread, they become something you love. All right, let's talk about recovery, but let's look at it not as something separate from fitness, but as something essential to getting stronger, feeling better, and actually making progress. Because here's the truth, if you don't prioritize recovery, your workouts won't work the way they should. I used to know someone named Kai who trained intensely, pushing harder every session, barely taking breaks, thinking more effort always meant better results. But after months of exhaustion, random injuries, and frustrating plateaus, he realized something was missing. He wasn't letting his body recover properly. He thought rest meant weakness, but in reality, rest is where the real progress happens. Science confirms this. Studies from the National Strength and Conditioning Association show that muscles don't grow during workouts, they grow during recovery. That means after you challenge your body, it needs time to rebuild stronger. Skipping recovery leads to burnout, injuries, and stalled progress. But when you prioritize things like sleep, hydration, stretching, and active recovery, your body actually uses those workouts efficiently. And recovery isn't just about lying on the couch, though sometimes that's absolutely needed. It's about intentional movement, like stretching, foam rolling, or light mobility exercises. Ever notice how soreness disappears faster when you move a little instead of doing nothing? That's because active recovery improves circulation, helping nutrients reach your muscles faster and reducing stiffness. I knew a woman named Mia who trained hard but kept getting random pains in her knees and shoulders. When she finally focused on recovery, adding mobility drills, drinking more water, getting more sleep, her pain disappeared. Because recovery isn't just about preventing injuries, it's about improving movement quality. And speaking of hydration, water is key to recovery. Research from the Journal of Applied Physiology shows that dehydration slows muscle repair, making soreness worse and recovery longer. Drinking enough water after training, that's not just a suggestion, it's an absolute necessity. Sleep is another huge part of recovery. The body heals best during deep sleep, when growth hormone levels peak and muscle repair accelerates. Ever had a bad night's sleep and felt weak the next day? That's not in your head, your body literally needs rest to function well. So if you're working out at home and want to maximize progress, recovery isn't optional. Stretch, hydrate, sleep well. Listen to your body. The strongest athletes know this. Their recovery habits are just as important as their training sessions. And the best part, when recovery is a priority, workouts feel better. More energy, fewer aches, better performance. Because fitness isn't just what happens during the workout, it's everything you do before, after, and in between. Why does fitness seem not enjoyable? Because let's be honest, if working out feels like a chore, it's hard to stick with it. But when movement is fun, when it's something you actually look forward to, everything changes. You don't have to force motivation, it's just there. I had a friend, Jake, who used to dread exercise. He'd start strong, then quit after a few weeks because it felt too repetitive, too routine, too much like work. But then he discovered something simple: he loved music. So he stopped thinking about workouts as sets and reps and started building sessions around playlists. Fast-paced tracks for cardio, slow beats for stretching, even experimental dance workouts just for fun. And suddenly he stuck with it. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Science backs this up. Research from the University of Oxford shows that music enhances endurance, reduces perceived exertion, and makes workouts feel easier and more enjoyable. That's why athletes train with music. It shifts energy, keeps the mind engaged, and even improves coordination and rhythm in movement. And enjoyment isn't just about music, it's about what kind of workouts you actually like. Ever tried an exercise and realized you hated every second? That's not your fault, it just means it's not your thing. Maybe lifting weights feels dull, but bodyweight exercises feel engaging. Maybe running isn't exciting, but boxing is. Maybe you hate structured workouts, but love moving freely to music. The key is choosing movement that fits your personality. I knew a woman named Sophia who struggled to commit to workouts until she found out she loved group fitness, even virtually. Having friends to train with kept her accountable, kept her energized, and made exercise something she actually wanted to do. And research from the Journal of Sports Sciences confirms that social connection during workouts improves motivation and consistency. And even if you're training solo, switching things up keeps things fresh. One day dance workouts, one day mobility drills, one day strength training, variety keeps your brain engaged. Studies from the American College of Sports Medicine show that workout variety improves overall fitness more than repetitive training, keeping motivation high and reducing burnout. So if fitness feels like work, make it fun. Play music, try new exercises, challenge yourself in creative ways. Turn movement into something exciting, something that fits you. Because when you enjoy workouts, you don't need to rely on motivation, you just show up. I thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and do all those lovely things you wonderful people do. I'll see you next time.